Is it possible to know if you're on track to live a long, healthy life? We often hear stories of people reaching their late 80s, 90s, even 100s, and we wonder, what was their secret? Was it just good genes, or was there something more? It can feel a bit daunting, can't it? We see changes happening, maybe less energy than we used to have, a few more aches and pains, and sometimes it feels like the best years are behind us. The painful reality for many is a gradual decline in health and independence as the years go by, leading to a restricted life. But what if I told you there are certain simple habits, things people who live long, vibrant lives often do, that can reveal you're heading down that same path? It's not about finding a magic cure or reversing time, but about building resilience and fostering well-being right now. These aren't complicated or expensive things. They're woven into the fabric of a life well lived. In this video, we're going to explore 6 such habits. These are like little signposts on the road to 90 and beyond. Are you doing them? Let's find out. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about these habits. Let's dive straight into the first habit, one that might seem simple, perhaps even obvious, but its importance for longevity, for revealing that potential to live well into your 90s and beyond, is absolutely foundational. This habit is consistent, gentle movement throughout the day, not just structured exercise. We often think we need to hit the gym or run a marathon to be healthy, especially as we get older. And while structured exercise has its place, what truly sets apart those who live long, active lives is that they simply don't stop moving. Think about the grandmothers who tended gardens well into their advanced years, or the grandfathers who still enjoyed a daily walk to the local shop. It wasn't necessarily intense, it was just regular. Imagine your body like a well-oiled machine. If it sits idle for too long, things start to seize up. Joints get stiff, muscles weaken, circulation slows down. Consistent movement, even gentle movement, keeps everything flowing. It helps maintain flexibility, strengthens muscles that support your joints, improves your balance, which is crucial for preventing falls, and boosts your circulation, ensuring vital oxygen and nutrients get to every part of your body, including your brain. So, what does this consistent, gentle movement look like in practice for someone in their 60s, 70s, or beyond? It's not about breaking a sweat for hours. It's about weaving movement into the fabric of your day. It could be taking the stairs instead of the lift when you're able. It could be getting up and walking around during television adverts instead of staying seated. It could be pottering in the garden for half an hour. It could be a short, leisurely walk around the block each morning or afternoon. It could be gentle stretching while you wait for the kettle to boil. One lovely way to incorporate this is through social activities, joining a walking group, taking a gentle dance class, or even playing a relaxed game like bowls or pétanque are fantastic ways to move consistently while also connecting with others, which brings us to another vital piece of the longevity puzzle that we'll touch on later. The key word here is consistent. It's better to do 20 minutes of gentle movement every day than 2 hours of intense exercise once a week. Little and often is the mantra. Let's consider Mrs. Davies, a fictional lady in her late 80s who is still remarkably sprightly. She doesn't go to a gym. Her movement involves walking to the postbox each morning, tending to her small patio garden, and spending an hour most afternoons walking slowly along the nearby canal path with her dog. She also makes sure to stand up and walk around her bungalow every half hour or so while she's inside. It's simple, it's gentle, and it's consistent. This regular, low-impact activity helps keep her joints mobile, her muscles functional, and her energy levels steady. She's not training for anything. She's just living her life actively. That daily rhythm of movement is a powerful indicator of her body's ability to stay functional and resilient over time. Another key aspect of this habit is listening to your body. Gentle movement doesn't mean pushing through pain. It means finding ways to move that feel comfortable and enjoyable. If walking outside is difficult due to weather or mobility issues, consider gentle exercises you can do indoors, like chair exercises, walking on the spot, or using a stationary pedal exerciser while reading or watching TV. The goal is to avoid prolonged periods of inactivity. Think about the cumulative effect. Every time you choose to walk a short distance instead of driving, every time you stand up to stretch, every time you take the stairs, you are sending a message to your body: I'm still here, I'm still active, I'm still capable. This message helps maintain muscle mass, bone density, and metabolic health, all of which are absolutely critical for not just living a long life, but living a well life in those later decades. It's the opposite of letting your body become sedentary and stiff. So, look for opportunities to move gently and consistently throughout your day. It's one of the most fundamental habits that long-lived people share, moving from keeping the body physically mobile. Let's talk about something equally crucial for revealing that potential for longevity: the habit of nurturing strong social connections. This might not be the first thing you think of when you consider living past 90, but research consistently shows that robust social ties are as important for health and longevity as diet and exercise. Humans are inherently social creatures. We thrive on connection, on feeling a sense of belonging, on having people in our lives to share joys and sorrows with, to support and be supported by. As we get older, our social circles can sometimes shrink. Friends and family may move away. Health issues might make it harder to get out, or we might lose loved ones. This can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness, which are incredibly detrimental to both mental and physical health. People who live long, healthy lives often have strong networks of friends, family, or community. They are engaged with others. This doesn't necessarily mean having hundreds of acquaintances. It's about having meaningful connections, even if it's just with a few close individuals. These connections provide emotional support, reduce stress, and give life a sense of purpose. When you have people to talk to laugh with, or to rely on, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges. Think about Mr. Thompson, another fictional example in his 90s. Sharp as a tack and still living independently, Mr. Thompson lost his wife a few years ago, which was incredibly tough, but he didn't retreat into himself. He makes a point of having a cuppa with his neighbor, Sarah. Every Tuesday morning, he volunteers at the local library once a week, chatting with staff and patrons. He's part of a small group that meets on Thursdays for a game of bridge. He regularly calls his children and grandchildren. These might seem like small interactions, but cumulatively, they weave a strong social safety net for him. They provide structure to his week, opportunities for conversation and laughter, and the comforting knowledge that there are people who care about him and would notice if something was wrong. Nurturing social connections takes effort, especially as you get older and life circumstances change. It requires being proactive. This could mean reaching out to old friends, joining clubs or groups that align with your interests: a book club, a gardening society, a painting class, a choir, volunteering for a cause you care about, or simply making an effort to chat with people you encounter in your daily life. The person serving you in the shop, the postman, other people at the park. Technology can also be a wonderful tool for maintaining connections, especially with family who might live far away. Learning to use video calls to chat with grandchildren or sending emails to friends can bridge geographical distances. The key is finding ways to regularly interact with others in meaningful ways. These interactions stimulate your brain, lift your spirits, and provide a buffer against stress. Studies have shown that people with strong social ties have lower rates of depression and anxiety, better cardiovascular health, and even stronger immune systems. It seems that being connected isn't just nice. It's biologically beneficial for longevity. So, look at your own social life. Are you feeling connected? Are you making an effort to see and speak to people regularly? If your social circle has shrunk, what small step could you take this week to reach out or join an activity? Even one new connection can make a big difference. This habit of nurturing relationships is a powerful indicator that you're building a life that's not only long, but also rich and fulfilling, having discussed the importance of consistent movement and strong social bonds. Two cornerstones for physical and emotional well-being as we age. Let's turn our attention to something else that significantly contributes to revealing that potential for a long and vibrant life. This next habit is about continuous learning and engaging your mind. Just as your body needs movement to stay strong and flexible, your brain needs stimulation to stay sharp and resilient. People who live long, healthy lives often possess a quality of curiosity. They remain interested in the world around them and actively seek out new knowledge and experiences. This isn't about getting another degree. It's about keeping your mind active and engaged in ways that are enjoyable and challenging. Think about your brain like a muscle. If you don't use it, it can atrophy. Learning new things, solving problems, and engaging in mentally stimulating activities create new neural pathways and strengthen existing ones. This cognitive reserve can help protect against age-related cognitive decline and conditions like dementia. What does continuous learning look like in practice? It's incredibly varied and personal. For one person, it might be learning a new language using an app or attending a local class. For another, it could be delving into a new hobby that requires skill and concentration, such as painting, playing a musical instrument, or intricate needlework. Reading widely, whether it's fiction, non-fiction, newspapers, or magazines, is a fantastic way to keep your mind engaged and broaden your understanding of the world. Playing games that challenge your brain, like crosswords, Sudoku, jigsaw puzzles, or strategic board games, are also excellent forms of mental exercise. Consider our fictional Mrs. Evans, who is in her early 90s. Mrs. Evans decided in her late 70s that she wanted to learn about local history. She joined a historical society, started attending talks, and spent time researching in the local archives. This wasn't just about accumulating facts. It involved reading, critical thinking, remembering details, and engaging in discussions with others who shared her interest. It gave her a sense of purpose, connected her with other enthusiastic people, tying back to the social connection habit, and most importantly, kept her brain incredibly active and alert. She's now the go-to person in her family for questions about the town's past. Learning doesn't have to be formal. It can be as simple as trying a new recipe that requires following instructions and potentially learning a new cooking technique. It could be watching documentaries on subjects you know little about, or following online tutorials to learn a new computer skill. The key is to step outside your comfort zone just a little and introduce novelty and challenge. This habit is also about maintaining intellectual curiosity. It's about asking questions, wanting to understand why, and staying open to new ideas. It's the opposite of becoming set in your ways and resistant to anything new. People who embrace continuous learning tend to remain adaptable and flexible in their thinking, qualities that are invaluable for navigating the changes and challenges that life inevitably brings, especially as we age. Furthermore, the process of learning itself can be deeply satisfying and provide a sense of accomplishment. Mastering a new skill, no matter how small, boosts confidence and self-esteem, which are important components of overall well-being and resilience. So, ask yourself, what are you curious about? What have you always wanted to learn or try? Is there a skill you've been meaning to pick up? Making time for mental stimulation and learning is a powerful way to invest in your cognitive health and is a strong indicator that you're building a life that supports long-term vitality. It's about keeping the spark alive in your mind. Now, let's move on to the fourth habit that often characterizes those who live long: healthy lives. This one might sound a bit less about doing and more about being, but it has profound physical and mental health implications. This habit is cultivating a positive outlook and managing stress effectively. Life isn't always smooth sailing, and as we age, we often face significant challenges, health issues, loss of loved ones, changes in financial situations, and adapting to new circumstances. How we respond to these challenges can make a huge difference in our long-term health and well-being. People who handle stress well and maintain a generally optimistic perspective tend to fare better over time. This isn't about ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about developing resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's about focusing on solutions rather than problems, finding the silver lining where possible, and maintaining a sense of hope. A positive outlook isn't just a feeling. It's a mindset that influences your behavior, your relationships, and even your physiology. Chronic stress, on the other hand, is incredibly damaging to the body. It can contribute to high blood pressure, heart disease, weakened immune function, digestive problems, and sleep disturbances. Learning how to manage stress effectively is therefore crucial for longevity. So, how do people who live long and well cultivate this positive outlook and manage stress? It involves a combination of mindset shifts and practical strategies. On the mindset side, it's about practicing gratitude, consciously taking time to appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. It's about reframing negative thoughts and challenging pessimistic assumptions. It's about acceptance, accepting the things you cannot change, and focusing your energy on the things you can influence. It's also about maintaining a sense of humor and not taking life too seriously. Consider our fictional Mr. Phillips, who recently celebrated his 95th birthday. Mr. Phillips has faced his share of hardships, including losing his wife relatively young and dealing with chronic pain in his knees. Yet, he remains remarkably cheerful and engaged. He makes a point of starting his day by thinking of 3 things he's grateful for, even if it's just, the sun is shining, or, my neighbor waved. When his knee pain is bad, he doesn't dwell on it. Instead, he focuses on what he can do, reading, listening to music, or chatting on the phone. He finds joy in simple pleasures, watching the birds in his garden, enjoying a cup of tea, or following the cricket. He actively chooses to focus on the positive aspects of his life. Practical strategies for stress management are also key. These can include regular physical activity tying back to habit 1, which is a powerful stress reliever. Spending time in nature is incredibly calming for many people. Practicing mindfulness or meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Engaging in hobbies and activities you enjoy provides a valuable outlet and distraction from worries. Getting enough sleep is also vital for managing stress and maintaining emotional balance. Learning to say no to commitments that feel overwhelming and setting healthy boundaries in relationships are also important aspects of stress management. Another crucial part is seeking support when you need it. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or a professional if you're feeling overwhelmed is a sign of strength, not weakness. Sharing your burdens can lighten the load. Cultivating a positive outlook and managing stress is an ongoing practice, not a destination. It requires self-awareness and conscious effort, but the rewards are immense, contributing significantly to both the length and quality of your life. It's about nurturing your inner resilience and finding joy even amidst challenges. This ability to navigate life with a degree of optimism and calm is a powerful predictor of living a long and healthy life. Now, as we move towards the end of our exploration of habits that reveal a potential for living past 90, let's look at the 5th habit: prioritizing quality sleep. Sleep is often underestimated in its importance, yet it's a fundamental pillar of health, as crucial as diet and exercise, and plays a significant role in long-term well-being and longevity. As we age, sleep patterns can change. We might find it harder to fall asleep, wake up more frequently during the night, or find our total sleep time decreases. It's a common misconception that older adults need less sleep. The truth is, our need for sleep remains roughly the same, around 7 to 9 hours per night for most adults. But our ability to get restful sleep can be impacted by various factors, including health conditions, medications, and lifestyle habits. People who live long, Healthy lives often have established routines that support consistent, quality sleep. They understand that sleep is the time when the body and brain repair themselves. During sleep, our bodies clear out toxins, consolidate memories, regulate hormones, and repair tissues. Chronic sleep deprivation, even just getting an hour or two less than you need consistently, can have serious consequences over time. It's linked to a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, weakened immune function, impaired cognitive function, and even depression. So, how do you prioritize quality sleep, especially if you struggle with it? It starts with establishing a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends. Helps regulate your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. This routine signals to your body when it's time to be awake and when it's time to rest, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Creating a relaxing bedtime routine is also very helpful. This could involve reading a book, listening to calming music, taking a warm bath, or doing some gentle stretching. Avoid stimulating activities like watching exciting television programs or using electronic devices with bright screens in the hour or so before bed, as the blue light can interfere with melatonin production, the hormone that signals sleep. Making your bedroom a sleep sanctuary is also important. It should be dark, quiet, and cool. Invest in comfortable bedding and consider blackout curtains or earplugs if necessary. Avoid caffeine and alcohol, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime, as they can disrupt sleep. While a nightcap might seem relaxing, alcohol often leads to fragmented sleep later in the night. Regular physical activity during the day. Another habit we've discussed can significantly improve sleep quality, but try to avoid intense exercise right before bed. Eating your evening meal earlier rather than later can also help, as digesting a heavy meal close to bedtime can interfere with sleep. If you find yourself lying awake for more than about 20 minutes, it's often better to get out of bed and do something quiet and relaxing in dim light until you feel sleepy again, rather than tossing and turning and becoming frustrated. This helps to break the association between your bed and wakefulness or frustration. Consider our fictional Mr. Davies, who is thriving in his late 90s. Mr. Davies is a creature of habit when it comes to sleep. He has his last cup of tea by 6 p.m., enjoys a quiet read downstairs until about 9:30 p.m., then heads upstairs. He finds a warm bath helps him relax before getting into bed. He doesn't watch TV in his bedroom. He wakes up naturally around 6:30 a.m. most mornings. If he wakes in the night, he knows not to check the clock and often listens to a calming radio station on very low volume until he drifts back off. This consistent routine and mindful approach to bedtime have been a cornerstone of his health for decades. Prioritizing sleep isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for long-term health. Making conscious efforts to improve your sleep hygiene and creating a restful environment sends a powerful signal to your body that you are supporting its vital repair and restoration processes. It's a habit that truly reveals a commitment to well-being that supports longevity. Finally, let's explore the sixth habit, one that often goes hand in hand with many of the others we've discussed, but deserves its own focus, maintaining a sense of purpose and engagement with life. People who live long and well don't just exist. They remain actively involved and feel like they have something valuable to contribute or look forward to. Retirement can be a wonderful period of freedom, but for some, it can also lead to a feeling of aimlessness if they don't replace the structure and purpose that work provided. Longevity isn't just about the number of years you live, it's about the quality of those years, and feeling a sense of purpose significantly enhances that quality. A sense of purpose can come from many different sources. It might be continuing to work part-time in a job you enjoy. It could be dedicating time to hobbies and interests that you are passionate about, whether it's gardening, painting, writing, woodworking, or collecting something. It could be through volunteering, giving your time and skills to help others or support a cause you believe in. It could be nurturing relationships with family, particularly grandchildren, and actively participating in their lives. It could be continuous learning, as we discussed earlier, pursuing knowledge for the sheer joy of it, or it could simply be having daily or weekly routines and activities that you look forward to and that give your day structure and meaning. Consider our fictional Mrs. Wilson, who is active and vibrant at 91. Mrs. Wilson used to be a teacher. After retirement, she didn't just sit at home. She started volunteering at the local primary school, helping young children with their reading. This gave her immense satisfaction, kept her mind sharp, another habit, and connected her with the community social connection. When she wasn't at the school, she was tending her beloved rose garden, a hobby that brought her great joy and physical activity. She also had a weekly bridge game with friends. She often says, "I don't have time to be old," because her days are filled with things she cares about. Having a reason to get up in the morning, something that makes you feel useful, interested, or simply happy, is incredibly powerful. It combats feelings of boredom or irrelevance that can sometimes creep in as life changes. It provides motivation to stay active, healthy, and connected. When you have something you care about and are engaged with, you are more likely to take care of yourself so you can continue doing it. Research has shown a strong link between having a sense of purpose and positive health outcomes, including lower rates of chronic disease, better mental health, and yes, increased longevity. It seems that when you feel like your life has meaning, your body and mind respond positively. How do you cultivate a sense of purpose? It starts with reflecting on what matters to you. What activities make you feel energized and engaged? What skills do you have that you could share? What causes do you care about? What have you always wanted to do? Try new things. Revisit old passions. Look for opportunities to contribute. It doesn't have to be something grand. Even helping a neighbor with their shopping or being the family historian can provide a strong sense of purpose. Maintaining a sense of purpose and engagement is about staying curious, staying involved, and continuing to grow, regardless of your age. It's a powerful driver of well-being and a habit that truly distinguishes those who not only live long lives, but live them with vitality and meaning. It's about adding life to your years, not just years to your life. So, we've talked about consistent gentle movement, nurturing social connections, continuous learning, cultivating a positive outlook and managing stress, prioritizing quality sleep, and maintaining a sense of purpose and engagement. These aren't just random pieces of advice. They are interconnected habits that form a powerful foundation for long-term health and vitality. They are the kinds of things you often see woven into the daily lives of people who are thriving in their 80s, 90s, and beyond. Are you doing them? Perhaps you're already doing several of these. Maybe there's one or two that you feel you could focus on. The surprising thing I mentioned at the beginning isn't a single secret habit you haven't heard of. The surprise is that there isn't one single secret. The real revelation, the truly powerful insight, is that longevity isn't usually the result of a single magic bullet or winning the genetic lottery, though good genes certainly help. Instead, it's often the cumulative effect of these seemingly simple, interconnected habits practiced consistently over time. It's not about being perfect at all of them, all of the time. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about making conscious choices, day by day, that support your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Small changes, when they become consistent habits, can indeed make a big, big difference to your health and happiness in the years to come. Remember, it is absolutely never too late to start cultivating these habits. Even small adjustments to your daily routine can begin to build that resilience and set you on a path towards a healthier, more vibrant future. Pick one habit that resonates with you most, or one that feels like the easiest place to start, and focus on incorporating it into your life. Once that feels comfortable, you can think about another. Living a long, healthy life isn't about waiting for something to happen. It's about actively participating in your own well-being. It's about making choices today that your future self will thank you for. These 6 habits are powerful indicators. Yes, but they are also powerful tools. They are within your reach, and they offer a roadmap to not just living longer, but living better. What are your thoughts on these habits? Which one do you think is the most challenging? Or which one are you already doing consistently? I'd love to hear your experiences and perspectives in the comments below. Sharing your journey might inspire someone else. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a like. It helps other people find this valuable information. And if you want more practical tips and insights on living your best life at every age, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, your later years can be incredibly fulfilling and vibrant. By focusing on these simple yet powerful habits, you are investing in a future filled with health, happiness, and purpose. Live your best life at every age.